What have I got myself into?
Wait. Matron, take them away. Oh.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, I'm the big fella that is the Scruffy trader. And what I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, do take a second to hit that little subscribe button. It genuinely helps. And if you find value, smash the like and super thanks. Genuinely keeps the channel on air. So what have I got myself into and why am I doing it in the first place? I'm going to be trading up a prop fund from inception to end, whether it's good or bad. You know, doesn't matter how good you are, you can still get clipped. So I'm always prepared for sort of the bad side as much as the good side. Unfortunately, I've been through this before. I've got a good idea of what to expect and where to go. And what's happened is people have seen me trade prop. I'm one of the few that'll actually put statements on the screen and trade in the moment. And when they see this, they want to see how it's done. And because of that, that's where the Scruffy squad was born. Because a lot of what I do won't be in the public domain. But if you want to see exactly what I do, it's in there. But what I wanted to do was inspire you with prop. You know, because if you've got a limited amount of funds, it's very difficult to grow it into big funds, as is sort of spouted round the internet. You know, I turned 200 into 30 grand in a month. What a load of bollocks. You know, it takes time. But what you can do is do ROI, return on investment. So you can invest your small account into a prop fund and then use their bigger fund to carve the profits off and then use the profits to fund your own account. And I've built accounts like that. And what I thought I would do is take you from the start to the finish. Sound fair? Well, in the first video I did of this, it was setting up the MT5 and getting ready. In this one, it is going to be setting up the journal and a few rules and understand how I break things down. So let me flick the screens on and I'll show you the company of choice. Now, the company of choice is the 5%ers. I've used these for the last couple of years. I do very well. I've got to know them incredibly well, to the fact that they've also seen my personal statements and the statements I do for them, because I trade funds for them. And I now help train and do webinars for them. If you come down into the resources, if you remember, you get to see exactly how I do things. Let's have a look, see where we're at. Does that come on? Oh, there we go. So if we go back, that was me. And again, prior to that. And they're all there, all the time. There's loads and loads of different webinars to take from. And you'll find that I'm in amongst them. You know, so it's break your trades, your journal, and even a strategy that I use. So I wouldn't give them these secrets unless I trusted them, and they wouldn't let me do it unless they knew I knew what I was doing. So it's the yin and the yang. All right. So what are we doing with them? Well, there are a number of routes we can take. I'm not big on stock trading. I will be doing a filter system this week on stocks, because for all I don't like stocks, I do know how to trade them. The boot camp is where you take 3 challenges over 12 months and then you decide that you want to go into a fund. Okay, so that's a low cost way into it. Or if you've already got the skill set, you can go into this, which is what I am looking at. Now I've signed up for the 40,000, which is the one in the middle. So it starts with $385. All right. which is peanuts really, because they're giving me buying power of 10,000. Right? So that's a good return on investment. And all I've got to do is carve the profits out. Now the profit target that they're after is $600 or 6%. And stop loss is set at 2%, so I can't exceed 2% on a stop loss, which, to be honest, is more than adequate. But the part that I like, and this is why I like the 5%ers, is it's not time limited. Okay, I've got 180 days to pass this. That's the best part of 6 months. So essentially it's a percent a month. So I've got time on my side. When I see a lot of other funds, like, do this in 30 days. That pushes you down the gambling route, and it's not good. Trading is all about steady growth. And that's what these guys want, because what they're doing with these funds is they are looking to encourage stable traders. And then once you're stable, you start getting the rewards in bigger funds. They put the money up, you do the work, and you split the profit. Now, to me, that's fair. There's a lot of people out there say that the split isn't good enough. Well, you ain't putting the money up, so it's excellent. You know, don't ever think it's not good enough. You know, they're putting a lot of faith in you guys. And just to kind of give you a case in point, there was a chap on about this earlier on. I'm going to show you that they genuinely do pay you. All right? I shouldn't, but I will. My figures are coming in now. I've just drawn out, well, there you go, thick end of a good amount of money there. It's like $900 last week. And I am paid constantly from the 5%ers all the way through. Always on time. And it's an easy way. Now, the way that works, and I'm bringing it up just because it was questioned in a Facebook group for the 5%ers, is it's like a holding pot between the 5%ers and you, a bit like PayPal. They pay it into there, then you can transfer it to whatever bank of choice you have, and then it saves all of the exchange rates, etc. It's very, very simple. You can even pay it into PayPal if you want. It's nice, safe, and free. Okay. And if you do want to follow this journey, there is a 5% discount link below in the description. There's a lot of other links down there as well. And we'll carry on. All right. So that's what we're doing. And we're going to trade it up. Now, I don't mind showing bits and pieces. Once it's funded, I kind of try and keep it private to a degree. Why? Would you give me your bank account details? Probably not. But it's nice to see the trades. So what am I going to do first? Well, the first thing I need to kind of figure out is how many days I have to do this. Now, I use this website, Time and Date. It's very good because you can work out how many work days you have. Because it's all right saying it's 180 days, but there's weekends involved. So what we need is an end date. Well, if I just pull up my new platform so you can see what's going on. So I have till the 1st of March next year to complete this. Now I'm going to try and complete it by Christmas, but I'm going to set the maximum parameters. Okay, so let's have a look. So we'll flick that onto there. So it's the 1st of March next year. So that'll be there. We're going to exclude the weekends and bank holidays. Where are we at? Is that right? 308? That can't be right. Oh, there we go. Wrong date. Wrong date, boys and girls. Wrong date. There we go. Try again. Not to there, to there. Excellent. 125. Okay. So we've got 125 days to complete this. Okay. So if I come to this, what we're going to do is we're going to put in a start balance. Now my start balance is 600. Now you might think to yourself, well, why is it 600? You've got 10,000. Well, if I come back to the dashboard, I have a drawdown of 600. That is there. My max loss, 600. That is what I'm assuming the account is. Because if I exceed that, the account is gone. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the balance as leverage. So I don't have to worry about leveraging. And I'm going to work on that as the account so I can keep the position size realistic. Simple stuff. Okay. And then, like say, I've got 125 days to do this. Okay. Which is effectively 6 months. Okay. So 600 in there. We are starting here. And my first note is keep size small. All right. Why? Why am I keeping the size small? Because I want to get a feel for the market first. Right. Build a little bit of movement within it. So I now need to work out roughly some little rules. Okay. So I know I'm going through to March. So what's my first rule? To trade from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Why those times? I like to trade the London session. And also, if I'm at this all the time, I'll lose concentration. Okay. So concentration is the next part of the rules. What is the next part of the rules? Do not trade London open 8 a.m. So I'm not going to trade the opens. Why? Because they are dangerous. And I don't want to be losing any money. Okay. So what's the next part? I need to keep the positions small. So how do I do that? Well, that's not as difficult as you think. Just have a little rule of thumb of compounding. I'll show you compounding as well. I compound every 20 pips. So move size every 20 pips. Right. What does that mean? So if I have a good win and I score 20 pips, I will allow my position size to move up. Now, what else am I going to be doing? Well, I need a certain strategy to do this. The strategy that I prefer is Goldeneye. If you're unfamiliar with it, you'll find it in the Discord. It's the system that I use every single day. And it's basically zone to zone and common sense. Okay. So I'll be using Goldeneye as my rule. Now, is there anything else that I want to do? Well, there is. I need to limit the amount of trades I do per day to protect the account. So I'm going to trade once or twice a day. So 2 trade cap split. Split means I can go into a position. Now I'm going to be starting this with £1. Why? Because I work on £1 for every $500 or $500 of equity as a baseline, and then I work from there. Okay, and I'll be increasing my position size by 5%. Now 5% on £1 means it only moves up by 5p. All right, so it's not end of world stuff. So I'm quite happy with that as well. And because they're in front of me all the time, keeps me grounded. So if I've done 2 trades, I just stop. Okay. I look for ROI. I want about 10% for any investment I put down. So if I've got 50 quid on the table, I want £5 back. So my balance will increase. All this sort of stuff. Right. I now need to work out some targets. Now I know I've got about 6 months to do this. And my goal is 600. So what this is working out is now roughly what I need to do per day. Okay. Now another way of doing it is you can just get a calculator out. Should have my calculator on here somewhere. There it is there. And you can go 600 divide by 125 480. All right. So I've approximately got to do, let's say, a £5 a day. £5 a day is my benchmark. Okay. So what is the percentage that I need to work to? Well, if I'm working at 1% a day, that's £6, but I don't need to. 0.8 is where I actually need to be. All right, that's 480 based on that calculation. Simple stuff. All right, so this is set up. I'm ready to rock and roll. Filling this in is dead easy, you know. And I'll quickly show you this before I show you how I'm going to compound it and turn it into a wage maker. Drop your date in. Drop your balance in. Say I'm going to invest 10% of that. So that's £60 of that 600 I'm going to invest into this. Now, when I'm investing, what that means is that's my maximum for the day. All right. So I can't lose any more than £60 on a day. All right. Back stop loss bid, that's going to be £1. And then in this case, that is there. So that's like 60 pip stop if I like. P&L, let's just say I did £6 on the day. Well, that means I won it. The change, roughly 1%. Well, it is 1%, £6 of 600. RR, couldn't care less about RR. That's just there. The shot. What I'm interested in is whether or not I invested the target. So what that meant was I needed to hit £3 for target, and it went green. So I did it. But if it did just £2, I didn't do it. All right. So it's telling me what my investment target is. Okay. So just drop that back there. Why is that important? Keeps you grounded. All right. You just need to know where you're going to be. All right. So put that across and just drop in whatever the market is, whatever the trade is, whatever you're going long, whether you're in a good mood, whether you're in a bad mood, etc., etc., etc. Okay. And from there, you're good. Okay. And then on this side, what it's showing is there's the balance. It's increased by 6, which is a 1% gain, one position, 100% hit rate. That was my bid size. If I'm moving it up next, it would be 105 based on a 5%. The average win is 6. And then the investment target and the profit split is basically what the company's getting, the fund, and what I'm getting. So if I'm on 50%, I get £3, they get £3. Simple. 6. That's kind of roughly how that works. Okay. Now, if I'm going to compound this up, I need to start working the compounder as well. Now, let me just move my head a second. There's a starting grid here. Now I can change this to whatever I want. So let's say it was 500, but in this case, we're starting at 6. There. I am going to allow myself 5 splits. 5 splits. And then I'm going to target 10 minimum. And then build it up from there. So what initially happens is I will go into market with 20p as my first position. If it moves against me, I will add a second 20 pence, a third, so forth, up to £1, which is my maximum position. Okay. Why am I doing it that way? So that I can increase profit. Let me show you. So in this equation, if all 5 splits are hit, I will get £20 profit, which then starts increasing as I move up my bid sizes. Okay. Now, if I was at a single position here, and I move them out of the way, all I would get is £10. So by breaking the trades, I can actually increase my profitability. So that's why I use a compounder, and this keeps me grounded as well. And then what I'll do is I work it up to, I get to a position that I want to earn, which is a wage maker. And a wage maker is quite a simple process. You just put in what you want for the year. Now, if I'm on said pounder point, so it's roughly down here somewhere, that's about there. But I wanted, I don't know, say I wanted 20 grand, and I'm on a pounder point or close to it. There's 97p. What this means is I have to put in a massive amount of work. So an average win is 10 pips, as we've just established. I want 20,000 in the year, but I can only afford a pounder point. Right. That means each day I've got to do 78 pips. All right. Which means I've got to trade, well, thick end of 8 times just to get my 20,000. That is hard going. I've already established that I can only trade twice. All right. So if I can only trade twice, I need my fund to be able to take 4 quid. That's where the compounder comes in. All right. So this establishes what I want for the year. Tells me the size of the bid that I need, which is 4 quid. I can't afford that at the moment, so I have to compound up to it. The compounder here starts helping me work out how long it's going to take me to get there. All right. And then once I get to that plateau, I stop. That's my position size fixed. Do it twice a day. As the account grows, just means it can take more exposure. Don't need to increase my bid size because it's fixed. Why do I know it's fixed? Because that's already told me that's all I need to do. Only put into the market what you need. That's simple. So that's my sort of journal setup. Quite happy with that. I'm happy with what I'm looking at. Journey starts tomorrow. And what I'm going to be doing is I'll do quite a few live trades with it. And I'll do a recap probably once a week, once a fortnight, just so you can see the journey. But if you're stuck and you do want to follow the journey, it'll be in the sort of Scruffy squad every day. I'm in there every single day, chatting with the guys within it. I tell them what I'm going to trade. I show them how I'm going to trade it before I do it. And then there's just merriment all day. And if you're interested, there's links below. But I also set up a free Telegram for you guys because I was sick of going into forums and seeing all the morons and the noise, and certainly the signal and course sellers. They did my head in. They don't make it fun at all. So set one up. There's a link in the description. You can go in, you can talk in peace with each other. If you do see a seller, let me know. I'll kick them straight out. And I drop in from time to time, and I'm happy to talk to you whenever. So there you go. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm up to. Starts tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have 40k by Christmas. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.